Good morning, everybody. This is Jeff J. Brown, China Rising Radio, Sinoland, Shenzhen, just south of the Tropic of Cancer, and article and podcast number 2 in our new apartment. So I hope you enjoy the new look. My wife has not hung anything up on the other wall, but you can see. I gotta go that way. You can see we have a nice view outside of our. Of this office that we're using the second bedroom as an office, and we're up on the 11th floor, so we've got a nice view of the neighborhood. All right, nice light too. Today is entitled Vaccine Scandal Shows Just How Democratic and Participatory is China's Democracy. Again, photos, lots of hyperlinks, chinarising.puntopress.com. Click on the blog tab until you get to the vaccine article if you'd like to read and listen, or just read. I always put the link in the original SoundCloud and YouTube podcast. There's a picture of a Chinese baby getting a vaccine. Baby Wong may be crying, but hundreds of millions of Chinese parents are even more upset by China's vaccine scandal. Corporate and government heads are going to roll, literally. In book number 1 of the China trilogy, 44 Days Backpacking in China, the Middle Kingdom in the 21st Century, with the United States, Europe, and the fate of the world in its looking glass, there is a chapter when I was traveling through Inner Mongolia which inspired me to write about the 2008 melamine scandal in some of China's dairy products, since Mengniu, spelled M-E-N-G-N-I-U, is based there and is one of the 2 biggest dairy companies. I pointed out that Baba Beijing reacted with force and determination. Several corporate directors at Mengniu and the other big dairy company, Yili, spelled Y-I-L-I, were executed. That's right, shot, and many went to prison for years. I then compared China's handling of a public safety scandal to one of the most egregious in the West, Vioxx, the drug Vioxx, V-I-O-X-X, Merck's, M-E-R-C-K, the big drug company, Merck's blockbuster, in quotes, blockbuster drug, meaning obscene profits at any cost, killed up to 500,000. That's 500,000 innocent victims. This expose is thanks to Ron Unz, spelled U-N-Z, which you can read here. Only 3,400 deaths were admitted to, an $8.4 billion fine was assessed, half of which went to the class action lawyers. Can you believe that? And likely doled out over decades. Merck's leaders never apologized and continued to make personal fortunes on their stock options and golden parachutes. Nobody spent a day in jail. This while a handful of children drank tainted milk and died in China, a couple of thousand more got sick, and corporate heads literally rolled on the execution floor with decades of hard time behind bars for the other culprits. It's not like Vioxx was the first medical scandal to hit the headlines. They are ongoing and global. I can still remember a friend in grade school in the early 1960s who had a sibling with no arms thanks to thalidomide. The real problem is capitalism, where profits are God, so humanity and Mother Earth can go to hell for the bottom line. But nobody wants to admit this truth, as it flies in the face of 500 years of Urangla Land's greed is great, and there is no alternative, the TINA, T-I-N-A, propaganda. Planet Earth is going extinct, clinging to this big lie. Notice one of the scandals listed in the above article is about heparin, H-E-P-A-R-I-N, heparin adulteration in China in 2008. Tens of people in the U.S. died and hundreds were hurt. Why? Because of concerns about maintaining sales levels and profits at the Chinese company here in China. This caused a huge loss of face for the Chinese, and Baba Beijing reacted with new regulations and inspections. The government attacked the problem. This week, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang have called for a thorough investigation with consequences for the offenders concerning a national vaccine scandal. President Xi demanded severe punishment, quote, to cure the chronic disease of corruption and rid this poison from our bones, end of quote. And to resolutely, quote, improve the supervision of vaccines and guard the bottom line of safety in order to safeguard public interest and social security, end of quote. XJP called the production problem, quote, hideous and appalling, end of quote. This while Premier Li ordered zero tolerance directives saying, quote, no matter what companies or people are involved, severe punishment will be meted out to all who violated safety standards, and there will be no allowances. This case crossed a moral bottom line, end of quote. He is the head of China's State Council, the largest government administration in the world, and it is going to investigate. The Communist Party of China, the CPC, and its Central Committee of Discipline Commission, CCDI, in Jilin, spelled Jilin, that's a province, where the vaccine plant is located, is setting up special teams to do their part. The vaccine company has been shut down for 3 months, and 15 people who work there, including the chairman, have been arrested. Baba Beijing is going to make sure this does not happen again by launching a nationwide investigation of all the country's vaccine manufacturers. All of this happened in 1 week. No need for years of litigation and lawyers becoming billionaires. Wow, how refreshingly un-Western is Baba Beijing's response to the crisis. A bottom line for the people and not for Wall Street and the Fortune 500. China's leaders are hands-on, engaged, and results-oriented. In the West, the White House, Downing Street, the Élysée Palace, Congress, Parliament, Chambre des Députés, and their equivalents across Uranglo-land, Japan, South Korea, et al., are bought like stocks and bonds via legal and illegal bribery, extortion, blackmail, and the elites who own them expect a very profitable return on their investment. Corrupt elites, which is a tautology in the West, don't go to jail very often, only maybe pay a nominal fine, while never having to say they are sorry. They are different, a superior race to you and me. Why are China's 2 top leaders coming out swinging about this scandal? Because their citizens are outraged and demand action. China has about 20 social media platforms, but on WeChat alone, the word vaccine increased 80 times overnight with 321 million articles and searches. That is the equivalent of 1/4 of the country's population in 1 day. And then there's a great picture of President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang at the National People's Congress or a Communist Party meeting, you know, gazing out over the crowd, looking very, very resolute and very, very serious. Pictured above, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Premier Li Keqiang looking out for their citizens' interests, kicking butt and taking names. Unlike Western leaders, they are not for sale. Unlike Western corporate and government do-badders, those involved here in China have already publicly apologized. But like 2008's melamine scandal, that won't be enough. I can promise you that the guilty are going to be spending years behind bars And if it can be shown that children died as a result of those faulty vaccines, then bullets in the back of some heads will also be forthcoming. You can take that to the crematorium. The public has spoken. They are shocked, pissed off, feel betrayed, since vaccines are government mandated. They want justice and to get this problem solved yesterday. All this clearly confirms that China has the most vibrant, responsive, participatory, and successful democracy on earth. Here are 2 articles I wrote recently to further demonstrate this reality. I can say with confidence, based on years of working here, carefully observing and analyzing how Chinese society and governance function, while talking to thousands of citizens in the process, that I live in the most democratic country on planet Earth, bar none. Here's my bottom line. The West not only has fake news, it also has fake democracy. Nothing has changed since the Roman Empire. Time to take the little red pill and step out of the matrix. This is Jeff J. Brown. Thank you very much for tuning in and reading, watching, and or listening. Again, please show this channel, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, whatever that you prefer, and the website and the blog to your friends and your social and professional circles to help dispel all of the incredible disinformation and propaganda being regurgitated by the West about China. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.